Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina from Marina Art Design, and in this video I'm going to show you the new updates in my cryptogram programs. If you already purchased cryptograms, you will notice there is a change in interface. You now can pick different file formats, so SVG, PNG and PDF. And also there is a bulk upload button. I will talk about that later in the video. Everything that I show you here in English cryptogram generator also works the same in global cryptogram generator program. So the first change is that now you can type longer sentences. Before you could only have 100 characters, and now that number is 140. What did I misspell here? So now the maximum count of characters is increased by almost 50%, so 40%, and you can now type 140 characters in your cryptogram puzzle. If you want to create just one cryptogram puzzle, the process is still the same. So you would type your sentence here. You would change the font if you don't like this one, if you want to use different font. You would choose the file, TTF file from your computer, and I would recommend that if you want to change font, that you keep your favorite fonts in one separate folder so you can easily find the TTF files for the fonts. And after that you would select difficulty, so one of these. So for example, let's check this one. You would pick either to use letters or numbers as a code answer here. You would type a number here, how many of these letters to be visible or answer keys to be visible. So if you want to make the cryptogram easy, you would use everything. For this is a cryptogram for kids, and if you want to make it hard, you could reduce the number of visible letters in the code by half or as much as you want. And after you do all this, you can click on download cryptogram. And this is now the biggest change from the previous system, is once you click download cryptogram, it is not going to download one by one. It is going to download everything in one zip folder. And that is the change here. So 140, you can pick what you want from the file format. And if you click download cryptogram, it is going to download everything in one zip folder. And that's it. After you are finished with downloading, you can click OK and continue. So now let's switch to bulk upload. In order to use bulk upload, so after you click this button, you're going to have this menu open up, and you will see that you need to have an Excel file. Now, I'm going to provide you with the Excel file that this cryptogram program is using, and you can find that Excel file if you go to your Gumroad account under your purchased library, and under cryptogram purchase, you will see that you have now that Excel file. And that Excel file is looking like this. You have 3 columns, so 1, 2, 3, ABC. The first column is where you need to type your data, so your text for cryptograms. So here you would type your cryptogram quote or sentence or text. Here is where you type the file name. So whatever you want for the file name to be of the SVG, PNG and PDF, you would type that here, and that will become part or initial part of the name. And if you want to use that difficulty that is using defined letters, you can type them here as well. So if you do not want to use that difficulty, you can leave this empty, or you can type this as well if you want to use that difficulty. And after you are finished with typing all the data, make sure that you save the files, and you can also close the Excel. It's not necessary, but just make sure that you actually save the file before you go to Cryptogram Online. And now you need to choose that file, and now you need to select difficulties. And now you see something interesting here. It doesn't give you option to only select one. if I cancel here, you will see that if I pick this one, it is automatically canceling the other one. So you see, if I choose this, I cannot choose this. If I choose this, I cannot choose this. But here, something different is happening. I can pick multiple options here. I can type any number I want. So I can select multiple difficulties and multiple numbers. So let me switch to PowerPoint presentation to explain to you what is happening here. Let's say that you have two input data in your Excel file. So you have two sentences in your Excel file. If you select show none, and if you select use letters for answers and you pick no, here number 26, quantity 1, and the file format is this. As a result of this one, you will get two cryptogram puzzles generated. So you will have one with these settings for the first set of data that you placed in the Excel file, and one cryptogram for the second data that you input in the Excel file. But what if you select show none and show only vowels? So you have selected two sets of difficulties. In this case, if you are still using the same Excel file, you will have four cryptogram puzzles generated. So it's going to be data 1, show none, so that will be this first difficulty, then numbers, and then 26. And the second puzzle would be also data 1, but now it will pick second difficulty that you selected, show only vowels, numbers, and 26. And then it's going to do the same for data 2. So you're going to have four cryptograms because you selected two difficulties and you have two input data. So 2 times 2 equals 4. What if you have everything the same, but you select quantity 2? Now you're going to get 8 cryptogram puzzles. So this one times 2, this one times 2, this one times 2, this one times 2. So all the puzzles will be, of course, completely different, but they will be using these settings. So it will be sentence number 1 and difficulty selection show none, numbers, and 26 letters visible. What if I select use letters and numbers? So here, yes and no. Once again, I'm going to have four cryptogram puzzles generated. So I'm going to have sentence number 1, so data number 1, with show only vowels, and then it's going to be puzzle with numbers. And then the second puzzle is going to be also data 1, also show only vowels, but now it's going to select letters, and it's going to be 26 here. And the last combination, and this is maximum that you can get. So if you select all the difficulties, all the letters, and also if I go back and show you here, so if you want to have multiple difficulty levels using the same sentence, so you would type here 13, 26, or maybe 20, 26. As you can see here, it is saying that you need to comma separate each number. So what this is going to do is, if we go back here, now it is going to run through all these difficulties and all possible combinations and variations here. Since you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 combinations, the result is going to be 16 cryptogram puzzles. So 16 cryptogram puzzles is going to be generated with just one sentence that you have. So you're going to get puzzle that is going to use that sentence, show none as this difficulty, numbers, and 13 numbers visible in the answer key code table. And as you can see here, everything else follows that logic. So you will have 1 per this, and then 1 per this, and this. So it is just combining all of it. I would personally recommend that you test this, all the settings with 2 sentences first before you start going with extra sentences. Now, what is going to happen after you click choose file and click all of this and click upload? It is going to generate cryptograms in the background. So you can continue with your work online. Of course, you need to stay connected with on internet, but you can continue to do other things. Once it is finished, it's going to give you that pop-up window for zip download. Also, I would recommend that you do not put like 300, 400 sentences and then select all of these difficulties, because it's going to take maybe 1-2 hours to generate all those cryptograms. It's not an issue. You can do that, for example, overnight. So you can put 300 and then activate the system and let the system run overnight. And then you need to be ready in the morning to click OK once it gives you option to download the zip file generated from all the puzzles. So it is going to generate them in the background. You do not have to stay on this site, on this tab. You can put this tab somewhere else, but you cannot close the tab. If you close the tab, if you close this web page, it's going to stop and it's not going to generate cryptograms, and you're not going to be able to save them. You will need to repeat the process all over again. I recommend once again that you try this with try playing with these settings and with just 2 sentences in your Excel file, so you can see how it is working. And also another thing that I would like to point out. Now, if you work with PDF and you work with PNG and that's it, and you are not familiarized with SVG, I understand that. But me personally, I work with SVG because that stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. So that means it's vector. I can do whatever I want with vector graphics without losing the resolution, without losing the quality of the file. So that was the only thing that you could get in the past. Now I'm giving you option of SVG, PNG and PDF, but there is a slight catch when it comes to SVG. It is not possible for you to select colors of the letters, but I listened to your suggestions, and what I did is, once you open your cryptogram in SVG format, if you are in graphic design, you probably already can see that this section here is black, while this section here is not black 100%, it is 97% black. So technically it is a dark gray shade. Now the reason why this is not completely black is if I select, for example, this letter here, and I use the option select same fill color, now because this table is black and this is not black, I'm able to select all of this together and I can change the color easily. Now you are probably wondering, Marina, how I'm going to do this for all the cryptograms I'm going to create, how I'm going to change all the colors, because if I do it manually, it's going to take forever. The benefit of having SVG file format or having an illustration in SVG file format is that you do not have to open the file physically to change the color. So when I say open physically, you do not have to open it inside Inkscape, Adobe Illustrator, Affinity Designer to change the color. You can open the file, SVG file, in any text editor. For example, Notepad, or the one I'm using is Notepad++, to edit color in the file as well. So what you see right now here in front of you, this is an image, but for Inkscape to show this image, yes, it's a letter, but you also have a rectangle here, you have a shape and everything. So for Inkscape to be able to produce this, for me to see this as an image, he needs to get information, what is going to go here and what is going to be its color. So what is going to be on this location of pixel from the X and Y coordinate system, and what is the color of this pixel, what is the color of this pixel here. So everything is actually written in the code of the SVG file. So now I'm going to show you how this file looks like when it's opened with Notepad. In order to be able to edit this file as well, I'm going to close it down from Inkscape as well. So I'm going to close it. And this is how that same image, that cryptogram solution image SVG file looks like when you open it in Notepad++. So every line here is actually instruction to Inkscape what to do with the image, how to show that specific image. So for example, here it says square in color RGB 000, so that means black, and put this black square that has a stroke width of 1 pixel on this location, and the name of this square, name of this object is line 47. So this was just automatically generated, so it has a random number. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for shapes that are in red, because I changed all my letters to color red. Now this is something that I know, but if you do not know, you will have to use some online service. So the red that I use, the hex code of that red is FF000. So this here is the code of the shape that is red. I'm going to copy that. So this here is an indication that this object is red. I'm going to go to search and I'm going to go to replace. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace this code with, I'm going to use yellow. FFF000 is yellow. And I'm going to click replace all. So what this is going to do is going to replace every instance of this hex code that represents color red with this text that represents color yellow. And I'm going to click replace all. And now every instances of that hex code has been replaced. And I'm going to save this file. I'm going to click on save. And as you just saw here, I did not use Inkscape. I did not use Adobe Illustrator. I just changed physically the text in this file. So let's see what happened with the SVG file. What happened with the image file. And this is the result. So by changing the color text in the indication of the color fill text in Notepad, I changed the color in the actual image file. And that is how you can change the color in all your SVG files. You would open Notepad, you would open that folder where you have SVG files, so not just one file. You would open folder here and you would go to search, replace, and then here it's going to ask you, do you want to do the replacement of this text in all files? And you would select replace it, and that is how you can easily change all the colors from one color to another color inside SVG file. Now, if that sounds too complicated to you, if that is too much, if you do not work with SVG, you can just ignore that and continue with your cryptogram generations as usual, as normal. I just wanted to emphasize that in case you do notice that there is a slight difference in shade between the table on the top where you have the answer key and the actual cryptogram puzzle, the reason why there is a slight variation in the shade is for those people that are using SVG, so they can easily pick that different shade, and then they can easily modify the color to whatever color they want. So that's the reason why the shade is slightly different. In print it will all look completely dark, so there is no issue in print for that as well. And that's it. If you have any questions regarding the new cryptogram generators, ask me down below in the comments, or you can also send me a message in my Facebook group as well. As I said at the beginning, everything that is working here this way, it is also working the same in global cryptogram generator. Now, I would like to point out that because this upgrade is huge, there will be a slight increase in the price for the cryptograms, and I'm not going to do the price increase automatically. I will remain with the old price for the end of this week. So after the end of this week, the price will be increased because of the cost of making the bulk upload function available. So if you already purchased cryptogram, you can already use this. There will be no extra charge for you, no extra fee. You have the bulk upload and you have the SVG, PNG, and PDF in zip folder export. And if you want to purchase Cryptogram, the price will remain the same until Sunday, and then after the Sunday it's going to be increased. Not sure by how much, but there will be a significant increase in the price. That's it from me. I hope you liked the video. I hope the tutorial was easy. Of course, if you purchase Cryptograms, I'm going to send you all of this in my regular email, so you are familiarized with everything. And that's it. Have a nice day, everybody. Until next video, I hope you take care and stay safe. Bye.